I'm so glad you could join us for another viewing of Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Adrian Atkinson. Summer is here, and so is the heat. Here are some quick tips that you can apply to your daily routine to help you beat the summer heat. Number 1, stay hydrated. Be sure to drink your recommended 8 glasses of water per day, but to jazz it up a bit, you may add fresh fruits or some lemon slices to taste. 2, wear loose-fitting, light-colored clothing. This helps with better air circulation. And 3, harmful ultraviolet rays cause damage to the skin, no matter the skin type, so be sure to wear your sunscreen. We have lots more coming up, but first, the news.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, July 4, 2023. Legislation to protect the vulnerable and promote cultural change to end sexual harassment is now in effect. The Sexual Harassment Protection and Prevention Act 2021 took effect on July 3 and is being hailed as an important piece of legislation that is leading concrete measures. It addresses concerns about sexual harassment that are employment-related, occurring in institutions, or arising in the landlord and tenant relationship. Contained are provisions for harassment in the workplace, schools, correctional institutions, places of safety, nursing homes, medical and psychiatric facilities, among other places. In the House of Representatives recently, Minister of Gender Olivia Grange advised that mechanisms were being put in place to investigate and adjudicate complaints of sexual harassment. She also informed that 4 sexual harassment investigators were hired and several sensitization sessions were being done with companies across Jamaica. It is expected that employers will begin to generate their sexual harassment policy in accordance with the Sexual Harassment Framework document.
The law says once the act is enforced, these documents, the policy position, the commencement date will be 12 months after we have put the act in force. So I'm telling everyone, you have 12 months to get ready, putting them on notice.
The standing orders of the Senate have been amended to include terms of reference for the Caucus of Women Parliamentarians to give effect to its constitution and duties. The motion was approved during the sitting of the Upper House on Friday. Leader of Government Business Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith says the role of the caucus is to have the tough conversations and also engage the population.
To have women and girls and men and boys more understand the value that diverse opinions bring to leadership and the importance of being able to see yourself and your children being able to see themselves in leadership in order to condition their minds as to the options that are available for them.
Opposition Senator Janice Allen welcomed the motion and pledged support.
We will work together even where there are differences to ensure at the end of the day that women in this country are properly represented and the issues impacting the lives of women at all levels of our society are addressed in a fulsome way and given the respect that they deserve.
The corridors along the northern coastal highway between Ocho Rios and Discovery Bay in St. Ann will be outfitted with closed-circuit television CCTV cameras. These will be installed under the Jamaica Eye program. The disclosure was made by National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang as he addressed a business community meeting in the parish on the weekend. Minister Chang says the cameras will be strategically positioned and serve as a robust crime-fighting tool to enhance public safety and security.
We currently have cameras in Ocho Rios, and they're working very well. Jamaica Eye adds a new dimension to policing, which is very useful.
Minister Chang says this is part of the modernization of the police force to effectively address the evolving nature of criminal activities. Only recently, a resort in St. Ann was attacked by criminals.
We want to assure you that we are making the investment in what is required to make the police more effective. It's not going to happen overnight, and we need your cooperation. We need citizens to cooperate. give us information, give us support, put in some infrastructure for yourself as well. You know, cameras are universal activity now.
The Jamaica Eye network of CCTV cameras across the island now boasts over 850 devices. These cameras monitor public spaces and assist the authorities in responding to incidents of crime, accidents, or disasters. Local Government Minister Desmond McKenzie remains strident in his defense of the government's approach to assisting the country's indigent and homeless population. Mr. McKenzie says since 2016, more than $68 million has been spent on infirmaries and the homeless.
We not only build the facilities, but we provide medical care. We provide meals for them. So I don't want nobody to tell me about this government is not cognizant of the plight of poor people. We are the government that have done more for this set of people in this country than any other administration have done.
The local government minister was speaking at the handing over of an indigent house in Black River, St. Elizabeth recently. He also reminded stakeholders that the Poor Relief Program existed to benefit all Jamaicans.
None of the poor relief officers across Jamaica should never ask anybody which party you join. Poor relief is neither PNP nor GLP because the poor is no respecter of color, creed, or party. And this is why whatever we do, it is transparent, it is open, and we can stand up to any scrutiny on this program.
And finally, Transport Minister Darrell Vaz is calling on Jamaicans to take greater care on the road to reduce the high level of fatalities and crashes. He says the power lies within road users to make Jamaica become as close as possible to a crash-free society.
Let us advocate for responsible driving from both private and public motorists. Embrace new technologies, obey the Road Traffic Act and regulations, and demand safer habits towards transportation. Together we can make a change and reduce fatalities.
Minister Vaz was speaking at the Grenell's Driving School Crash-Free Defensive Driving Workshop and Expo held on Wednesday. Referencing data from the Road Safety Unit, he said from January 1 to June 27 this year, there were 203 deaths from 185 fatal collisions. 65% of persons who died were pedestrians, pedal cyclists, motorcyclists, and pillion riders.
The reduction of the road fatalities will not be achievable without the help of each and every Jamaican. The Road Safety Unit and the Island Traffic Authority will continue to work with our stakeholders and partners in educating the public as we promote and foster an orderly and disciplined driving culture and traffic culture.
And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
Everybody get ready. It's festival time again.
Jamaica, me yard, me yard, me yard, me yard.
Oh, we dancing same way. People jumping same way. We are real.
Among the finalists is the 7-time festival song winner, Eric Donaldson.
Reggae, 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 Jamaica. Now you know the best in the world is Jamaica. Brown and gold, black, green and gold.
Junior Award winner, Escoliva.
Feels like home. We need more
An artist named Hot Rod.
love, more love on the line.
2 mentor groups.
Well, look about what Talawa. This is Jamaica. Best food and rich culture.
Jamaica, we born and grow.
A visually impaired female singer called Princess Black.
We have to big up Mama J.
I'm really excited by what I consider to be the flood of quality entries in the competition.
Oh, happy Independence Day. A Jamaica Independence Day.
No way, no better than ya. No matter how them tell you, them a live bigger than hell. No way, no nicer than ya. No two overseas, just sit down and a ball when. No way, no better than ya.
It is said that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. But this step may be different for some than it is for the average human. Up next, we get a glance of what it's like traveling without sight.
From the fingers of political activist Helen Keller came this oft-repeated statement: the worst thing is to be born sighted but lack vision. Among our people are many whose sight is impaired, making it more challenging to navigate the roads of forever changing national space. Over a decade ago, the state-owned bus company had the vision to recognize their need for a public transport system that is accommodating of all Jamaicans.
I lose my sight. It's going from 89 to totally blind. 2004. 89 when I check my sight. 5% in the left eye and 95 in the right eye. Everything goes 2004. Well, 2004, I was fretting on it. I hear about Society for the Blind and Mrs. Wallace, who do the training, who train us to take the bus. Train us to go to transport center, walk on the road, walk between light posts, walk on the sidewalk. I prefer to take the JUTC. When I take the bus to the transport center, boy, the customer service is very nice. They ask you where you're going and then take you downstairs or upstairs and then put you on a seat to sit down. Sometimes they wait on you till the bus comes and put you inside the bus and tell the driver, where to let you off.
Since 2005, the JUTC began offering a disabled service, and we did so recognizing that there are other forms of transportation service or operators who do not provide a similar service to members of the disabled community. We recognize that they're an important part of the traveling community, and it is in fact incumbent on us, being a government-run entity, to provide such a service for those who may not otherwise be able to access private transportation services. Over the course of that period, we have also imported several units, several specially designed buses for persons with varying degrees of disability. We have a cadre of customer service representatives who have been introduced to a wide range of customer service related responsibilities and functions. In fact, 10 to 12 of them who are rostered weekly to provide critical care to members of the disabled community. Our customer service agents take them to and from the buses, and of course anywhere within the location of the Halfway Tree Transport Center. They also provide sanitary support for them.
I lost my sight last year, February. Taking the transport, sometimes I'm feeling excited. Sometimes, not all times. Because taking the transport, I can miss my steps. When crossing the road, sometimes I'm feeling down. Nervous, like, can't wait to get over it. I can cross in the road, anything can hit me. So those things will run in my intention. Yeah, and hole can be there. And even though the cane will drop in the hole sometime, you can still do wrong things and drop same way. So them something always come up in my thought at all times. Crossing the road, taking the vehicle. And sometimes tears come on my eyes because the way how the person react, people will see me. Some of them will say, you're not blind. And you act like you're blind because your eyes don't look like you're blind.
Part of the training involves engaging the Disabilities Foundation to see how it is that we ought to care for members of the disabled community. So for example, there is in fact a particular standard and protocol in which persons who are blind, for example, ought to be carried around.
One day I was at the bus stop. I take a bus 46 from downtown, and I asked tell the driver, I said, I'm going at Union Square Jug Serve. It was a woman driver, and believe you me, when the lady reached Jug Serve, she stopped the bus on the left side there and come out of the driver's seat and take me across the road right to the Jug Serve. I was so pleased, man. You have some nice driver.
The visually impaired individual is firstly someone with basic human rights, those shared by every other Jamaican. And while a disability-friendly transport system may not be on the list of basic human rights, as the JUTC recognizes, it is a critical part of ensuring that Jamaica is truly a place where everyone of every ability can live, work, raise families, and do business.
Do not use your cell phone while driving, please. That call or text can wait. Do you really have to stream that video while driving? It's not worth your life, nor that of other road users. Stay alert, stay off your phone, and arrive alive.
Known as the sunken pirate city, Port Royal was once the richest place on earth. However, all that changed in 1692, when a devastating earthquake consumed about 2/3 of the town. Today, Port Royal may not be rich in coins, but it's still very rich in history. Take a look.
A sun-kissed land with the golden beams nuzzling your skin. Boundless beauty from its rural to urban streets, and above all, a land with a tropical climate. It's warm weather all year round in Jamaica, but it can move from the extreme cold up high to the really hot down low. This is Jamaica, and this is a hot summer in Jamaica. Well, many will probably tell you that it's one of the hottest parishes in the island, and Port Royal in the parish could provide you with an even hotter but rich summer experience. Let's say this summer you want to pursue a little more than just sand and sea, and want a taste of the island's rich culture demonstrated through history. Then Port Royal offers a unique experience of Jamaica's yesterdays.
300 years ago, when we knew Port Royal, the city began its history as an island not connected to Jamaica. For 33 years after 1655, Port Royal was known as the richest and most sinful or wickedest cities in the Western world due to the piracy and extensive trading activities that took place here at that time. The typical temperature at Port Royal presently is very hot because it's in the summertime. However, despite the weather conditions, we have a lot of visitors coming here for swimming, fishing, and recreational activities.
On this historical summer walk, a distinctive structure cementing our history here at Port Royal that you'd be intrigued to learn about is this tilted building known famously as the Giddy House.
The structure, formerly known today as the Giddy House, was actually constructed in 1888 and called the Royal Artillery Store. Its specific purpose was to supply battery complexes with ammunition. That structure got its name, Giddy House, during the second earthquake happening January 14, 1907. That earthquake caused the structure to sink 10 feet into the sand and the top half tilted 15 degrees. So because of that sensation persons get when they enter, we call it the Giddy House.
So it's likely that you'll feel this strange giddy feeling on entering the building, but it's all a part of the unforgettable experience.
Apart from you finding the Giddy House structure here in Port Royal, you can also locate the Old Naval Hospital structure. The original structure was constructed in 1812. It got destroyed by a fire in 1815. The structure that we have here today was restored in 1818. That structure is the first prefabricated cast iron structure in the Western world. So it's built on floating rafts. Those structures are buried some 14 feet deep into the earth's surface, so that structure was built to actually withstand earthquakes and slightly sway or swivel with hurricanes.
And an old British defense settlement wouldn't be completed without a fort.
Another element you can find here inside the town of Port Royal is the fortification called Fort Charles. That fortification was constructed in 1656, built by the British to protect the city of Port Royal and to also prevent enemy ships from entering the harbor.
History still lives on through some of the most unique pieces stored in 2 museums here at Port Royal, even ones from beneath the waves.
The museums that we have here in Port Royal, 2 of them to be exact, those 2 museums contain old man-made exhibits called artifacts. All of them are authentic. Most of them are over 280 years old. They were retrieved from the sunken city of Port Royal. The sunken city is approximately 35 acres of land, which sank during the first earthquake happening June 7, 1692. So inside our museums, you can locate items such as utensils over 300 years old, weapons used by British soldiers in combat. We also found a watch in pieces, French-made to be exact, which stopped at 1143. That's the approximate time period of the first earthquake, June 7, 1692.
A sea might have sunk piece of an island, but we all enjoy how that sea's cyclical rhythms set the pace for island life and sultry summer excitement.
Apart from to come to Port Royal to tour the fort and to learn about the town's fascinating history, due to the town's strategic location, it is known famously across the world for fishing activities, recreational activities, and meaningfully, there are 2 quays off the coast of Port Royal, one of them most famously being called Lime Quay, the other Maiden Quay. You can get a 20-minute boat trip by taking a sea taxi or small canoe from the fishing village.
Antiques 3 centuries ago labeled the city as sinful, but history's delicate hands in weaving Jamaica's culture has created a safe haven in Port Royal.
Presently, Port Royal is considered as one of the safest areas in Jamaica. It's known approximately for outside 75 years to have a 0.5% crime rate, with a population not exceeding 1,300 inhabitants, including myself.
So you see, summers in Jamaica can be wherever or however you choose.
Vehicle operators must always use safety devices. Helmets and seatbelts are there to make sure you arrive alive, protecting you against injuries and even death. Since the start of the year, far too many road users have died. Some of these could have been prevented if the victims wore helmets or seatbelts. The new Road Traffic Act will fine persons for not wearing their seatbelt or helmet. So, do yourself a favor. Wear your helmet, use your seatbelt, save money, and stay alive.
My name is Abigail Carter and my piece is Woman Abused. To tell women that it's not every man that you can go with that would be peaceful, great, and like passionate to you and will take care of you. It's not every man is like that. And I want to spread awareness of domestic violence against women.
Woman looking at the mirror by yourself, no say your eye them black and now them blue. Woman looking at the mirror by yourself, the mama say pellet them in a two.
When children see these things, they're very traumatized by it.
Him choke all ya, him box ya down, him kick ya, tell ya bad word. Woman, you been battered, woman, you been abused. You can't stay at the boat, you're confused. Inna yourself, you make another excuse.
The message is that just love yourself, be confident, don't shy down to the things that you really want to do. Because if you do, everyone would think that you're not good enough. You know that you are good enough, but people would think that you're not. But in yourself, you know that you can do it and you can achieve.
Woman, looking at the mirror by yourself, the mama shop your mental health. Woman, you're depressed, so much sadness. Woman, you need love. Woman, you need shelter. You need to rise up your life can be better. You need to rise up your life can be better.
Performing makes me open up. I used to be a closed book, but now from I performed, I'm a more open book and everybody knows everything about me. I like to dance and I like to read and I like to write as well.
My name is Bruce Croxon. I'm the founder of a fund called Round 13 Capital that invests in Canadian technology companies. Well, my ties to Jamaica go way back because my mother is actually from the island. She comes from the parish of St. Mary, and so some of my very earliest memories are of visiting the island. I think Jamaica is an incredibly special place to visit. It starts with the terrain. I mean, it's physically a beautiful island. I mean, you go from high mountains to some of the most beautiful beaches in the world, and you can get some amazing views, you get some amazing cultures, and you get some amazing greenery the further you get from the sea. What people don't know about Jamaica is that there is an incredible number of side trips and explorations that you can do. There's some incredible adventure to be had, whether that's hiking in the Blue Mountains or surfing on the North Coast. A lot of people don't associate Jamaica with surf. There's some good surf there. Jamaica is much more than tourist destinations. There's a whole island to be explored and probably more smiles per capita than any other country I've visited, so I've always felt very welcome there.
This is where we part ways for today until tomorrow. But visit our website, jis.gov.jm, to catch up on this episode and lots more. Until then, I'm Adrian Atkinson, thanking you so much for tuning in.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.